Hi, my name is Erica Haynes,
I'm Cade Whitehauser.
I'm Justin Sneed.
And I'm Jared Peterson.
and we are the lovely Lavender Lightning Lizards, and this is our practice earning call. So to start off, we're going to talk about our strategy. So in the beginning, we started with a narrow strategy, but we didn't necessarily stick with it throughout the semester. We kind of found that we overspent on marketing and we underspent on product differentiation. We kind of tried to focus on making the camera quality alone better than the drone, and we found that kind of threw everything off with the finances and the everything about that. And we also misinterpreted how we would go about just the whole narrow differentiation strategy. So we just kind of fixed that as we went along throughout the weeks and into year 11 and 12.
So some metrics and places that we found out that we could improve. The first and foremost would be balancing our marketing performance, our marketing budget with our performance improvements of the products themselves. So as previously mentioned, we had the highest marketing budget of all the teams, but we had the lowest PQ rating. So definitely finding a balance between spending some of our money to improve the product while still spending some of that on marketing and getting the name out there. Another place that we can improve is converting our market share into competitive advantages. So we had the highest market share in both products, I believe, compared to our competitors, but we had the second lowest industry score. So we definitely need to do a better job of taking that market share and making value out of it. And then specific regional sales efforts, we had an average of around 8.7% market share in every region. So just being able to target some of those regions more specifically to improve our metrics was something that we felt like that we could definitely employ to kind of target certain areas and see more positive metrics out of that. So some other places that we felt that we could improve was balancing our spending, as previously mentioned, between the AC camera and the UAV drone. So we wanted to make sure that we're not just improving one product or the other, and not just spending marketing efforts on the camera versus the drone. And we want to make sure that we're kind of propping up both of our products properly so that they can sell as best as they can. And then overall, we just want to make sure we're improving the PQ ratings of both of our products. They tested below average with both. So we just want to be adding more features consistently to those products as we're increasing the marketing budgets to kind of keep those even.
Yeah, so steps we're going to take going into year 12. We definitely adjusted our product development a little bit. As Erica said earlier, we definitely enhanced the camera more than the drone. So kind of actually taking some of those advancements off in places where they weren't needed and bumping up some of the developments on the actual drone was definitely beneficial for us there. As far as marketing goes, we again are spending the highest of any team on marketing. So we're trying to hold that steady and just in hopes that we are marketing enough to reach all the targeted regions while still making a good return on investment there.
Yeah, and then some more steps we were going to take, particularly within our excess cash that we find. We found that throughout the years, we were maybe not spending this appropriately. And luckily, we were able to find some of that spending within our product development, like we mentioned before, to kind of go back to our strategy. And so with that, we were also able to invest in our compensation and facilities, both increased compensation for the drone and steady compensation for what we had for the camera. We see this as incentivizing creation, employees, and ultimately quality, leading to the big change we're making, especially within year 11 going into year 12, and trying to have that P&Q rating going up and trying to raise things of that nature. Other ways we found to spend that excess cash was stock repurchasing of 1,155,000 stocks. This allowed for the potential to raise our earnings per share drastically. And as we felt we're going to be with our uptick in pricing that was talked about before, and kind of with our newly found products, upgrading, matching that pricing, we're also expecting a great surge in revenues and a great surge in profits, and kind of finding that strategy that we were looking for all along. So with that, we repurchased our believed to be undervalued stock at around $74 per stock. And then an early repayment of $42 million at 6.5%. This allows for our credit rating to stay reasonable, not going anything above $42 million, but using that excess cash we have at the end from a rise in our overall revenues.
So here's our year 11 performance next to our year 12 estimations. As you can see, our actual performance on the right-hand side of that year 11 performance was significantly lower than the expectations of investors. Again, that was just mainly because we were really overspending on marketing compared to what we were doing with actual product design, and that was hurting us in the long run. So one of the things we did with product design was we significantly reduced our research and development spending, which definitely had a positive effect on our EPS. And then marketing, again, we kind of held that steady because we are spending the most on marketing, and increased marketing is actually increasing demand. And like Kate was saying, we're trying to get our net profit down as low to zero as possible. So we're optimizing our operating income. So we're holding that steady for now.
Yeah, and then we are also able to raise, like we talked about, the earnings per share with the stock repurchasing, the return on equity. We're able to expect a much higher return on equity, almost doubling our previous results of 32.6%. We apologize, I should say results, but we expect to double that, simply oops, sorry guys. Simply because we are able to have those increased profits, and despite dropping our dividends down to zero and not overspending, also encouraging our credit rating to stay at an A, it's able to raise to 60%. And then the stock price, we're able to get to $105 a share. This is about a 40% increase from our previous $72.40 per share, which we think is reasonable in predicting just about, as mentioned, a double in our profits. And with this, and considering what we might have to sacrifice for this, is our raising of our product pricing, which we're going to compensate for in imagining our image rating, it just barely meeting our investors' expectations at about 77 and not exceeding those through underpricing like we were before.
Right. Yeah. Just to add to that, we did increase prices around 10 to 15% per region per product, and that's why you see that big 5-point decrease in image rating from 82 to 77.
Yep.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Oh no. Oh no.